Join me as I dive into the world of tax deductions for firefighters and see if I can uncover the maximum savings for 2024. As firefighters, you put your lives on the line every day to keep our communities safe. And while you're busy saving others, it's easy to overlook the opportunities to save yourself some hard-earned cash on your taxes. But I'm here to tell you that there are some serious tax deductions available to you, and it's crucial you're aware of them. One common misconception firefighters have is that their taxes are too complicated to navigate. They think that because they've got unique expenses and situations, they need to hire a fancy accountant to sort it all out. But the truth is, with a little bit of knowledge, you can take control of your taxes and maximize your deductions. Another challenge firefighters face is keeping track of all their expenses throughout the year. From uniforms to equipment to training, it's easy to lose receipts or forget to log kilometers driven. But if you're not keeping track, you're leaving money on the table. And who doesn't want to save a few $100? And then there are those who think that because they're not making six figures, they don't need to worry about their taxes. But the reality is, every single dollar you save on taxes is a dollar you can use for something else, whether that's paying off debt, investing in your future, or simply enjoying a well-deserved vacation. So, what are the tax deductions available to firefighters? Well, let's start with the obvious ones: car, uniforms, and equipment. If you're buying gear for work, you can write that off, and that includes everything from boots to helmets to clothing. And it's not just the initial purchase price, either. You can also deduct the cost of cleaning and maintaining that gear throughout the year. For detailed information, let's discuss all the deductions one by one. Let's start with car expenses. The cost of your daily commute to and from work cannot be claimed as a tax deduction, even if you have a long distance to travel or work non-traditional hours like weekends or early mornings. This means that you won't be able to get any money back for those expenses when you file your taxes. It's important to keep this in mind when planning your budget and expenses. If you own a car and use it for work-related travel, you may be able to claim the costs on your taxes. This includes driving between different jobs on the same day, like going from your job as a firefighter to your side job as a first aid trainer. You can also claim travel expenses for going to and from a different workplace for the same employer in the same day, such as traveling from your station to a school to teach fire safety. Additionally, you can claim expenses for traveling directly from home to a different workplace. Make sure to keep track of your kilometers and other related expenses to maximize your tax deductions. If you need to carry heavy or bulky tools to do your job, you may be able to claim the cost of traveling to and from work on your taxes. To qualify for this deduction, the tools or equipment must be necessary for your job and not just something you choose to bring along. They also must be difficult to transport due to their size and weight. In other words, if you have to take around big, awkward tools for work, you may be able to get some money back for the trips you take to bring them with you. If you're looking to claim car expenses on your taxes, there are a couple of ways you can do it. You can either use the logbook method or the cents per kilometer method to figure out your deduction. If you go with the logbook method, you'll need to keep a valid logbook that shows the percentage of time you used your car for work-related purposes. You'll also need to hang on to receipts or other written proof of your car expenses. On the other hand, if you opt for the cents per kilometer method, you'll need to be able to demonstrate how you calculated the number of kilometers you drove for work and prove that those kilometers were indeed work-related. Either way, it's important to keep good records and documentation to make sure you're claiming the right amount. If you decide to claim your work-related car expenses using cents per kilometers method mentioned above, keep in mind that you won't be able to claim any additional deductions for the same car in the same tax return. This means costs such as servicing and insurance won't be eligible for further deductions. It's important to carefully consider how you want to claim your car expenses to maximize your tax benefits without overlapping deductions. Second is clothing and laundry expenses, including footwear. In general, You can't deduct the cost of clothing as a work expense. This means you can't write off the money you spend on buying, renting, fixing, or cleaning your everyday work clothes like jeans or sneakers. Even if your job requires you to wear specific clothing and you only wear it at work, it still doesn't count as a deductible expense. If you have to buy, rent, fix, or clean special clothing for work, you might be able to get some money back for it. This could be for clothing that is designed to keep you safe from getting hurt or sick, like steel-toed boots, gloves, or fire-resistant clothing. You can also get money back for clothes that you have to wear because of your job's dress code, as long as it is clearly stated in a work agreement or policy and is different enough from regular clothes. Just make sure to keep all your receipts in case you need to prove your expenses. Meal and snack expenses. You can't deduct the cost of food, drinks, or snacks you eat during your regular work hours. Those are personal expenses. However, if you get a meal allowance for working overtime according to your job's rules, you can deduct the cost of those meals from your taxes. So, if you're putting in extra hours and need to grab a bite to eat, you can at least get a little relief on your taxes. If you have to travel away from home for work and stay overnight, you may be able to get some of your travel expenses reimbursed. This includes things like meals, hotels, transportation, and any other costs you have while you're away. But if your employer pays for your travel, or if someone else reimburses you, you can't claim those expenses. Just because you get a travel allowance from your job doesn't mean you can automatically claim those expenses. Just make sure to keep track of all your receipts and check with your employer before putting in a claim. You are not able to deduct certain personal expenses on your taxes. The fees associated with obtaining or renewing your driver's license, even if it is mandatory for your job, costs related to attending social events or charity fundraisers, and purchases of skincare products. These expenses are considered personal and should not be claimed on your tax return. However, you can claim more expenses according to your individual circumstances. Information provided in this video is for general purposes only. Talk to us or your registered tax professional regarding the deductions you can claim. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you've got questions or comments about tax deductions, drop them in the comments below. And if you're looking for more tax tips and tricks, be sure to check out my other videos.